Okay, we're up to Daf Nazir, Daf Ches Amid Aleph, and this is basically we had these Mishnayos yesterday, and exactly what transpired is it how long is it one long Naziris or is it Naziris every 30 days for the Naziris? That's the discussion. Hareini Nazir Keseya Roishi. I'm a Nazir for the like the hairs on my head, Ukeafa Aretz, or like the dust of the earth. Kechol or like the sand of the sea. Harizeh Nazir Olam. He's a Nazir Olam, but not the Nazir Olam of Avshalom fame. The Nazir Olam of Avshalom fame, he took a haircut once a year, and he could never, ever drink wine, right? However, this Nazir is a Nazir Olam, but in Magaleach Achas L'Shleishim Yaim, he would take a haircut every 30 days, and not only would he take a haircut, it's an expensive Naziris, he'd have to bring his kabbanis as well. So this, for the rest of his life, every 30 days, this person would have to go ahead and bring karbanos and get a haircut every 30 days. That is the Tanakama. Rabbi Omer ein ze megalech achas l'shleishim yom, right? He would not go ahead and take a haircut for 30 days, but he would be one long Naziris. It would be a Naziris to the end of his life. Right. In other words, that it would be a Naziris what to the end of his life. Okay, that's what the Rebbe says. He'll be one long Naziris. That's what? No haircut. Right.
No karbanos.
Right. What's the person's megaleach achad l'shleishim? Ha'omer person would say harei alai Naziris. You say harei alai Naziris karashi am. He says, behold me, I'm a Naziris. He says lashon harei alai and makes a kabbalah bat of Naziris. He makes a Kabbalah of Naziris. By saying Harei Alai Naziris Keseresh Kesava. Second case. Hareini Nazir Mole Habayis. I have a gersa from the Meiri Mole Chavias or Mole Akupa. He says I'm a Nazir on like a full house or a full box. We check him out. Imamar Achas Gedoyle Nazarti. I wanted to make one big Naziris, then Nazir Lamed Yoim. He's Nazir for 30 days. The Mama Stam Nazarti, and if it says Stam, I made Naziris, then Royanas Akupa will view the Kupa, Kilahi Malaya Chardal, will view the Kupa as if it's full of Chardal of mustard seeds. The Nazir Kol Yomov, and he'll be a Nazir all the days of his life. According to Rabbanan, it would be every 30 days. According to Rabbi, it would be one long Naziris. Okay, good. So in other words, this person, we're being machmir in a way. We're asking if he said I wanted to wait a large Naziris, then it's 30 days. But if he says that he wanted to go ahead and he wanted to make a Naziris on his kavana was what? Stam I was a Nazir like 30 days, like Chardo. Then according to Rabbanan, it would be once every 30 days. And according to Rebbe, it will be one long Naziris to the end of his life. Okay, third
ask if you're bite him, I say, you're going to check him out what he meant. You just went through the whole Masechta of trying to figure out what he meant. In every case, just ask him what he meant.
Again, it depends on the lashon. I don't understand your question.
We went through a whole thing when a person says a certain expression. You're trying to figure out what he meant by that.
No, we didn't try to figure out. We know what he meant. In this case, we don't know. In those cases, we knew what he meant. Over here, we don't know what he means. There's two possibilities. So we have to check out the possibilities. Okay, anyway, we have to go by it. It's a hard daf meir. Says the Gemara. Hareini Nazir, the third case. Okay, so the first case was like the sayer of his head. The second case was what? A full house. And the third case, Hareini Nazir Mikan, this we had yesterday, Mikan ad Moka Employee. I'm a Nazir until it takes me to get from point A to point B, the amount of days. Oindim Kama Yomim Mikan ad Moka Employee. In Pachas Milamid Yoim, if it would take him less than 30 days, then Nazir Lamid Yoim, because the zeros can never be less than 30 days. Lav, and if it takes more than 30 days, Nazir Kiminyan Ayomim, then it would be a Nazir like the amount of days that it takes him to get there. It would be that would be the amount of days it takes to get there. Harini Nazir Kiminyan Yemos Achama. I am a Nazir like the minion of the days of the sun, Yemos Hachama, Moinin Nazirus Communion Yemos Hachama. He would go ahead and it'd be Moinin Nazirus Communion Yemos Hachama, meaning every 30 days for 365 days. Basically 30 years. Basically, guys, 365 days, every 30 days, he's taking a haircut and bringing karbanis. It would be, because if you look at the Rush, the Rush says you have to go down. I don't know. The Dafka the Omar Kiminyan Yimosachama. Dafka, like you said, Kiminyan Yimosachama. Avalam Omar Ki Yimosachama. It doesn't say the word minyan. He just says Ki Yimosachama. Then one zirus is makabel for a year. So in other words, when he said minyan, K'mosachama means the minyan of what? Of the amount. I want to be a nazir of the amount of days of K'mosachama, meaning each one of my naziris should be that amount, or one long naziris to that time. So the communion breaks it up, but if you say K'mosachama, then it'll be one long naziris. Rabbi Yehuda says, Maisa haya kivon shehishlim meis. There was a Maisa. As soon as he finished counting his 30 years, then what? He died. As soon as he finished his mashlim, those 30 years, he would die. Now, Rabbi is of the opinion, fellas, that this case would be one Naziris of 365 days.
1 year?
1 year.
30 years.
Yeah. Let's say if you're gonna every 30 days take a haircut in the 365 times, that's 30 years. Look at your mortgage. Right? Look at the mortgage, how much payments you got to go. It's approximately close to 30 years, right? 30-year mortgage, right? Pay it every month. So that's so yeah. So here's the machlokes. Rabbi seems to say in the case of Yemos, even if you say the word minyan, it's going to be one nazirus of 365. So Rabbi Yehuda, guys, this is important. Rabbi Yehuda is disagreeing with Rabbi. And Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion that there was a Maisa where a person said Kiminya Masachama, and when he finished his Naziris, the 365 times, actually 30 years, then he died. Okay, so the first case, the case we already discussed of the hair, we discussed that yesterday. Again, according to that was the Machlokes Rebbe and the Chachamim, one Naziris every 30 days, Rebbe long Naziris. That's the Machlokes that permeates this sugya. The sugya is, I found it very difficult. I found yesterday's difficult. I found today's difficult. I found it hard. Okay, let's see. Going back, we said if he said I want a Nazir like full of this house or full of this kupa, we check him out. If he said I want one big one, then it's 30 days. And if he says I made it stam, then we'll view it what? As it's full of chardal, and it's going to be a big chumrah, right, guys? It's going to be a big chumrah. Why? Because it's going to be, again, he's going to be a nazir for the rest of his life. Every 30 days, he will have to take a haircut and bring karbanos. So not only is it long, it's expensive. Not long as it's expensive. Now, royines akupa kilu molei chardal, the nazir kol yamav, and he will be a nazirat all the days of his life. Good? And again, every 30 days. The amai. The guys, why are you opting to view the box as full of mustard seed, which is endless? Why don't you view it as full of watermelons? Right? Or gourds, which gives you an amount. In other words, I don't have to be forever. I can have 10 or 15 watermelons, and I will have a Naziris. I will have 15 Nazirises, right? Naziros. You over here, we have an option, guys. Now, we have the Rush points out over here, Stam Naziris is the Hakko. So I got two ways to look at it. The guy says, I'm making Stam Naziris like a box, like a full box. I can be machmir and say that full box is full of mustard seeds, meaning every 30 days until the rest of my life, because mustard seeds are small, I'm going to have to take a haircut and make karbonis. I could view the box as X amount of gourds, large melons, and maybe there'll only be 10 or 15, whatever it is, and then there'll be a dover that's you'll have a set amount. Now, if you have a set amount, guys, it won't be every 15 days. I think I just have to correct myself. It'll be for the amount of gourds. In other words, if you have 30, it'll be 30, 50, 50. Again, this is a dava that yesterday we said. That's a dava sheyesh l'kitzvah. It's a dava sheyesh l'kitzvah. You're going to give it that amount of the number. Guys, listen to me. It's important. Yankel, listen up. Listen up. I could view this as one of two ways. Let's view it as, guys, look at me. Let's view it as mustard seeds. Good? Mustard seeds is like here on your head, correct? Meaning it's something that everyone's head, even some other people. And Harold, it's not, I understand. Barrels. Anyway. Okay, I never. Sorry about that. Yeah, listen, I don't take it. Okay, guys, okay, 1 minute. One, let's view the two possibilities. With keep in mind that Stam Naziris, we want to be Mako. Good? If you view it as mustard seeds, it's endless. It's a Davashain Lakitzva, like the hair on your head. We said yesterday, that's why you have an Naziris every 30 days, because it's something that what doesn't have a set amount. What happens if it has a set amount? If you make an Naziris, what you know it's a Davashesh Lakitzva. It is 30 days, 50 days, 60 days, then it's going to be for that time. So we said afilu meya yoim, it's going to be one long Naziris. Why? Because meya yoim, even though you're not going to meya shana, elf shana, you're not going to make it, but you'll only bring a carbon at that end. So, for example, if I say I'm a Nazir, not me, if a person says you're a Nazir for the whole days of his life, he's going to bring a Naziris every 30 days. If he says I'm a Nazir for 1,000 years, he's going to bring only one Naziris at the end of 1,000 years. That's the length of his Naziris. He's not going to bring it every 30 days. So now, I view this box, I can view it one of two ways. And it can either be like the hair on your head or the amount of years. So, for example, if you got chardal seeds, it's the hair on your head. If you got gourds and there's an amount, then it's going to be the amount of gourds. One Naziris for that period of time. Frag the Gemara, why did the Gemara go and opt for the Chumrah rather than the Kula? And you hear the Tut Stadim. Again, the Tut Stadim, guys. Chardal, mamish endless, 30 days. Gourds, exactly what the amount of gourds, 10, 15, 20, that's the Naziris is going to be 20, it's going to be 30 days. And then, so why did the Gemara opt for that? That's the way the Rosh learns Pshat this Gemara. Again, different ways to learn Pshat this Gemara. This is the way the Rosh learns. One more time. Ryan is Akupa, the Mishnah says we're going to view the box, Kilu Malaya Chardal, if it's full of mustard seeds, Nazir Kol Yamav, and more than Nazir Kol Yamav, every single 30 days he's going to have to bring a carbon and take a haircut. Va'amai, since Safik Naziris is lahakol, the lichse Kilu Malaya Kishuin and Deluin. And what? We'll view it as if the box is full of Kishuin and Deluin, V'tahavile Takanta, and then we'll have a Takana that what? That X amount of days, whatever it is, then we're going to go ahead and bring that amount. Guys, Kishmak, that's the Gemara's kasha. We're good?
And the 30, let me ask you, the 30 days, so he has 1 day off and then you start again? Is the 31st day is the off day?
But 30 days can be Mikan Lakan. There's no off days. This guy, no, he takes the haircut. No, this.
That's part of the carbon. That's
right.
Part of the process.
Yeah.
If the person meant less, why did he say so?
Again, this is he said Nazir stam, but he said box. Now,
So why do you do that?
okay, whatever he did, again, what's the halacha? We want to know whatever he did. This is not psychology. We want to know what the story is. There's two ways. No, again, Boitkin, I said, we check him out. If he says he meant that one long Nazir, it's going to be 30 days. That's the first part of that, the first Mishnah. Here he says, I said it's stam. Here's a Boitkin, I said, we're going to check him out. If he said I meant a long Naziris like the amount of Chadal, it's going to be one Naziris for 30 days, Avi. But here he said no. He said Stam Nazir like this. That's the Mishnah said Boitkin. Now, so those are the two stadim. Good back? Yehuda, you good? Okay, now says the Gemara Vaita. Amar Chizkiya. So again, obviously we have to go to Chumrah. Guys, obviously we have to go to Chumrah. So Amar Chizkiya b'machloikis shenuya. This is the machloikis that is learned. And Reb Shimon and our Mishnah that goes to Chumrah goes according to Reb Shimon, the Amar who's of the opinion that Adam machnes etz atzmai ledava shesfeikei chama mivadai. A person will be machnes into something where the suffix is more chama than the vadai. In other words, the vadai, if you said vadai kishuin, it would be the amount of kishuin. If you said vadai chardol, then it would be good. So now, when you don't know what he meant, even though the suffix is going to be more chama. Listen why the suffix is going to be more chama, guys. Watch. Listen, why is the suffix going to be more chama? He can never go ahead and get out of his Naziris. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Chardal? You're going to say chardal, right? So he's going to be a nazir every 30 days, right? Good. But 1 second. Maybe 30 days, his nazirs for Kishuin was more than 30 days. In other words, I can't go ahead and bring it for the chardal because maybe I'm still a nazir because my Kishuin was longer than that period. Chardal is once every 30 days. Maybe the Kishuin is longer than that. And therefore, I can't go ahead and bring the kabbalah swat of I can't bring the kabbalah swat of for chadal because maybe the Kishuin is longer. What now? Watch. I have Kishuin, right? I have Kishuin. Good. So let's say the Kishuin was 50 days. Good. Let's make it easier. Kishuin was 30 days. Yeah. So now the first time I'll be able to bring the carbon. Why? Miman of Shach. If I meant the Kishuin, I got my 30. If I meant my Chadal, I'm good. Good. Let's go to the next time. This is the suffix again. Now the next time, I can't bring my karbanis at all. Maybe I'm not a nazir. The next time, day 60, guys, for the chardal, right? If I meant kishuin, I already was yoitza with what? With the first round. So I won't be able to bring chardal because then I'd be being chulin into the azara. So the suffix is Muhammad in the vadai. If I was vadai, chardal, once every 30 days, I'll be able to bring the carbon. But I'll suffix, I won't be able to bring it every 30 days because the second time around, I got the problem. Maybe I'm not a nazir at all. It's a suffix whether I have to bring it at all because if it's kishu and I was ready yaitza. You can't. Guys, look at me. This is the hard part. Look at me and let's get over. Let the two studim over here. The vadai kishuin, whatever the amount whatever the amount of watermelons there are, that's the amount of days of my naziris. Chardal, every 30 days for the rest of my life. Good? That's the vadai. If I said vadai chardal, vadai kishuin. What happens if I don't know? Here's the suffix. I don't know what he meant, right? So the suffix is Muhammad in the vadai. Why is the suffix Muhammad in the vadai? Because let's go through it. Okay, 30 days have passed, and I only have 30 watermelons. So now when I'm bringing it, those 30 watermelons, I'm yaitza my kishuin. Yes? I'm even yaitza my first round of chardal. 30 days later, I would bring for chardal, right? But I can't, because maybe I'm not a nazir at all, because maybe the suffix is kishuin, and I was yaitza with my first round. And I can't bring the second round because now, if I'm not a nazir, I'm bringing chul in the azara. I can't do that. So this is a case of the suffix being Muhammad in the vadai. And therefore, our Mishnah, you want to know our Mishnah why ahead and said chardal rather than kishuin, is our Mishnah is going lechumra, right? Because why? A person will be nichtas to a suffix, even though it's Muhammad in the vadai. Now, where do you see this machlokes? Guys, with me? Okay, good. Where do you see the machlokes? Let's see it inside. Where's the machlokes? Rabbi Shimon, the other machlokes. Sveika, Chomer, Mavadei. Tanya. Hareini Nazir al Manas Sheyehei B'Krize Meyakor. A guy says, I'm a Nazir on the condition there is in this pile of tfuah 100 kor. So if there's 100 kor, he is a Nazir. If there's not 100 kor, then what? He is not. He comes along, it's lost or stolen, so he has no way of knowing whether he is a nazir or not. He's the suffix. Rav Shimon Isa says Rav Shimon, he won't be able to take a haircut, he won't be able to go ahead and drink wine, because maybe he's a nazir. So Isa, shesh suffix naziris lahachmir, because the suffix naziris is lahachmir. Now, he's a suffix. The vadai, he'd be a nazir. Now it's a suffix. He won't be able to go ahead and take a hit, right? He won't be able to take a haircut, and he won't be able to go ahead and he won't be able to drink wine. That's what Shimon says. Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion, mater, it's muta, shesafik naziris lahakol, that a person is suffering naziris will be makel. And since you don't know, so our Mishnah, guys, if our Mishnah went according to Rabbi Rabbi Yehuda, it would be kishuin. It wouldn't be chardal. The box would be full of kishuin and not full of chardal, right? Chardal is a chumrah. Chardal is a chumrah. So the fact that we're machmir in our Mishnah, it's the shita of Rav Shimon who's machmir by kri, right? Kri, where do you see his machmir? He says you're asa. You're still asa according to Reb Shimon, even though right, it's asa. You don't know, and it's asa. Okay, Taisus goes through like Rav Shimon, how you're going to get off the hook, make a condition. Okay, but right now,
Make him. That's the penalty you get. You have to accept Naziris.
no, again, there's a way out. Rav Shimon, like Rav Shimon. Yeah, there's a way out. Again, if you're not a nazir, you can't be chul nazara. Yankel, you can't make him into a nazir. He made a kabbalah. He either is one or isn't. I said, okay, we'll be machman you are. What happens if he's not? He's being chul in the azar. You're bringing chul in the azar. You can't fool around. Again, a new naziris won't take. Again, you have to. There's a tonight. There's a condition how to take care of it. But again, all we need to know is our Mishnah follows the shita of Rav Shimon by Kri. Good. Okay, now there is a difference, however, between Rav Shimon's din of Yehuda and our Mishnah. In our Mishnah, there was a Kabbalah. Whether it's Fikishuin or Chardal, there was the Kabbalah in that box. Masha'in came like the second shita. According to her, there's no Kabbalah at all. So Kenzain our Mishnah, maybe Rabbi Yehuda would be Maida when there is a tzad on both stadim that you would be Machmir. Right? Then you would be Machmir. Says the Gemara now, that's what the Gemara makes the chiluk. So Rabbi Yochanan is of the opinion, Afilu Tamer Rabbi Yehuda, who goes Mekel, could in our Mishnah say that no, will be Machmir. Hassam by the Kri, you know why he's Mekel? So he doesn't want to be a Nazar unless there is 100 core in the Kri. Without that, he doesn't want to be Nazar. But Hacha, when he said, I'm a Nazir, and the question is, on what is Naziris? Nachas Leila Naziris. And how is he going to get out of it? Again, he can't get out of it because of, again, the same problem we spoke out, that it's either Kishuin or the other one, and therefore you're going to be Klun Nazar if you go ahead on day 30 afterwards, on day 60. Now, says the Gemara now, let's figure this out. Okay. Amai loy, so says the Gemara, why can't he get out of this? Now, why can't he get out of this? Let's figure it out. Why can't he get out of it? L'chayra, the first carbon, according to Rabbi Yehuda, would be good. In other words, bring one for the kishuin, and in that kishuin, you're going to be yotze the chardal every 30 days. So Rabbi Yehuda could, in fact, be right. Rabbi Yehuda, in fact, could be the Tan of our Mishnah. You want to say no? He's not the Tan of our Mishnah. Says the Gemara. Amai loy, why can't he be mistalik the Naziris? In other words, right now you want to say he has to go ahead and keep the 30 days al suffix because you don't know. Says Amai loy, why can't he get out of the suffix? Lichsi lakupa kilim leya kishuan udeluin utahavi takanta. He's going to have a takana. Once the Naziris of the amount of gourds that were in there, once you have that, and you bring you bring it al suffix. And Rabbi Yehuda says like by Kri, so therefore the Mishnah could be according to Rabbi Yehuda. Go, as you're saying, you want to say our Mishnah is not Rabbi Yehuda, right? You want to say our Mishnah is not Rabbi Yehuda. Says Rabbi Yochanan, you could say our Mishnah is according to Rabbi Yehuda, right? Says Rabbi Yochanan, the Mishnah could be according to Rabbi Yehuda. Why is the Mishnah according to Rabbi Yehuda? Because when did Rabbi Yehuda say the din of what? When did Rabbi Yehuda say his din? That's only when there was no Naziris at all. But when there's Vada in Naziris, then he'd be Machmir. Says the Gemara, what's your raya? Maybe even when there's a suffix, he can get out of the Naziris. If he brings the Keshuin on the same day that the Chardal, he's getting out of it. So therefore, Rabbi Yehuda's Mekel could be Mekel even when there's Naziris. But that's all you have to do. You want to say, therefore, Rabbi Yehuda can't be the Tan of our Mishnah. Therefore, he can't be the Tan. No, it's we're asking. As Rabbi Yochanan wants to say, Rabbi Yehuda would be Machmir in that case. Why are you locked into saying Rabbi Yehuda can be Machmir in that case? Rabbi Yehuda could be Yotze in the side. He can be Mekel. You could be Yotze at side of Kishuin by bringing it that one time. That would take care of it. In other words, you bring it that one time. So my loy, why can't he be Yotze his suffix? Lichsei lekupa kilim lei kishuim v'deluin, v'havi lei takanta, right? And he would have what? he would have a takana. That the Naziris, who the Kibbutz Lavei, what would the takana be? The takana would be is that Hasalka Daitach Naziris, who it's a lashon mishuna. Hasalka Daitach Naziris, who the Kibbutz Lavei. How does the Rosh learn over here? 2 lines from the bottom. Amai loy lichse ki'ilu himalay kishuin utavilei takanta. Lama ta'omer. Why do you say sha'omid kol yamav b'safik zeh, that the whole days he's going to be in safik of Naziris? Ve'enlei takana. Hari achesh sha'aver Naziris shal kishuim. Once he passes the Naziris of kishuim, yachol legalech. He should be able to take a haircut. Why? The salkadai from Naziris shal chardal kibul alavei, that is makabel the chardal. The acha shagilach and Nazir shal kishuim, the stalik misafi kishuin. He doesn't have he took care of the kishuim part. The ain't lavata el safi chardal. Well, inachas akati le Nazir. The umisafka umisfeik loy machtinale, the suffix Nazir stakel. In other words, I got a way out. Watch, I got a way out. Guys, outside. It's hard. Outside. Let me. Guys, look at me. We'll get it. You, Rabbi Yochanan, wanted to say that where the Naziris, where he was Gezicha Mekabel Naziris, Rabbi Yehuda's Machmir, right? And therefore, Rabbi Yehuda could be the Tana of our Mishnah, because clearly our Mishnah is being Machmir by saying we'll view that box as full of mustard seed. Says the Gemara, I'm not locked into saying that. I can get you off the hook according to Rabbi Watt, according to Rabbi, right? I can get rid of one of the Naziris. What happens if I get rid of one of the Naziris and then I'm left with one? Then it's Suffolk Naziris Lahakal, like Rabbi Yehuda, and I'm off the hook. Guys, here's the key. Again, like Rabbi Yehuda, once it's one Suffolk, right? I'm off the hook. Good. Whether there was 100 in the Kree or not in the Kree, I'm off the hook. Once there's only one Suffolk, right? Rabbi Yehuda says, once there's one Suffolk, I'm not going to put myself in and get involved. Guys, you with me? Yankel, listen up. Once there's one Suffolk, you're off the hook. Good. So our problem here is there's 2 sfekas, right? 1, maybe it's kishuin. 2, maybe it's chadal. What happens if I can get you off the hook for kishuin and I'm left with chadal? What are you going to say? One suffix Nazirus lahakol, and therefore Rabbi Yehuda can't be the Tana of our Mishnah. How do I accomplish that? Whatever the chadal was, chadal is going to be every 30 days, right? Good, every 30 days. By the kishuin, whatever that kishuin is, I'll go ahead and bring it. Good. And I'm yotze my kishuin. I'm done. What am I left with? One suffix, whether he meant chadal. Suffix Naziris lahakol. Can't be the Tana of our Mishnah.
But it's lahakol both ways, because fake is also lahakol.
What?
You said the first one was also fake.
There's not fake. It's a suffix which way? It's only one suffix, whether you're going this way or this way. Okay. Once I take this off, I only have one suffix. That's the case of Kree. Was there 100 or not 100? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Good. So very geschmack. It's super geschmack. Afraid the Gemara, you say Rabbi Yehuda is the Tana of our Mishnah. Why? Because when there's Zichi, he wants to be a Nazir, right? And they have no choice, he'll be Machmir. Rabbi Yehuda's, I can make it that the same case as Kree. I'll take off Kishuin, I'm left with what? Chardal, softening the sauce, and we're good. That's what the Gemara is saying now. Says the Gemara, why do you say, Amai? Why do you view it as what? As Yehuda as the Tana of a Mishnah because he's Machmir. Go ahead, view it as full of what? Of gourds. But the Havile Takanta, you have a takana. The Salkadai from the Naziris with the Kibbutz Alei. Salkadai that wise by Chardal, he was Makabel Naziris what? Every 30 days. Good. So you'll bring the Kashu in the same day of the 30 and you'll be good. In other words, I'll bring that Kashu in the same day as what is Chardal. Yes? What happens, guys, if you hold like Rabbi? And when he said Chardal, it means one long extension. Then you won't have this. Then you wouldn't have this. Then you wouldn't have this. You wouldn't be able to do this, right? You, yeah. Then you're stuck with the sfekas, right? Okay. Says the Gemara. No, Rabbi Yehuda could be the Tana of the Mishnah. You know why? Because Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rebbe that by Chardal you're not going to say every 30 days. By Chardal you're going to say to the end of your life. One Nazir is to the end of your life. Says the Gemara. The Rabbi Yehuda Sava like Rebbe. Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rebbe. Since Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rebbe, guys, you don't have the Naziris of every 30 days. Therefore, you have no option of bringing the Kishuin, because maybe what? Maybe the Chardal, you're still a Nazir. Your Naziris is in effect. You can't bring it. Guys, you good? Everyone's good. It's a cheshbon. Yeah. Okay. Now the Gemara is going to say and prove that Rabbi Yehuda can't be like Rabbi. Okay. Gemara is going to prove Rabbi Yehuda can be like Rabbi. Okay. Says the Gemara, "Did man Rabbi Omer ein ze megaleach achas l'shleishim yoim?" In this case, by the Chardal, you're not going to take a haircut every 30 days, right? When he says the Kupa, ve'ez megaleach achas l'shleishim yoim, hoy maharei alai naziros kiser roishi ukafa aretzu k'cholayom. When he says harei alai, it's upon me, like to say upon me alai. Then naziros roishi. Okay, so therefore, Rabbi Yehuda is like Rabbi. Therefore, you got two sveikis, and therefore that's the halacha. Read the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda mi savala kirebi. Guys, look, go back to the Mishnah. Go back to the Mishnah. You'll see that Rabbi Yehuda can't hold like Rabbi. You'll see Rabbi Yehuda can't hold like Rabbi. Okay. First case. Hareini Nazir Kasei Roishi Kafa Aretz Uchol Hayom. Hari said Nazir Olam or Umegaleich Achas L'Shleishim Yoim. Rabbi Yoima Ein Ze Megaleich L'Shleishim Yoim. Okay, that's that case. That's what Rabbi holds. Now, what's the case of Hareini Nazir Mikan Ad Makam Ploini? Oindim Kamiyom and Mikan Ad Makam Ploini and Pachas Milam Yoim Nazir Lam Yoim Vimlav Nazir Kamiyan, right? Hareini Nazir Kamiyan Masachama. Good. So what's Rabbi going to hold, guys? The amount of days, whatever. It's one long Naziris. Hareini Nazir Kamiyan Yemosachama. Mine is Naziris Kamiyan Yemosachama. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Ma'isa Haya Kivan Sheshlam Meis. What happened in the last case of the Mishnah, guys? Right? Rabbi Yehuda is coming to go ahead and saying not like Rabbi. Rabbi holds your Naziris for 365 days from one complete year, whereas the Tanakama holds like what? You're going to have to keep every 30 days for 365 times, 30 years. And Rabbi Yehuda is proving who? The Tanakama. So Kochach Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold like Rabbi. So how can you? Now this is speaking about minyan, guys. This is speaking about minyan, okay? Keep in mind, okay? So that's the Gemara. Just keep in mind minyan. Okay, very good shema. So now, Nachamal, we're saying, Fred the Gemara Kasha, Rabbi Yochanan says the Mishnah can even go into Rabbi Yehuda. When is Rabbi Yehuda makel? That's only when there's one suffix, whether he's a Nazir or not. Or he's Vadi a Nazir. And the question is, which Naziris is it? Then Rabbi Yehuda agrees. Says the Gemara, why do you say our Mishnah is speaking about there's only one two sveikas? Maybe the Mishnah is speaking about there's only one suffix. He's going to bring Kishu in the same amount of days as Chadal every 30 days or 50 days, whatever it is. They'll bring him once, and then only have one suffix, whether it's Chadal or not. And suffix is Lahakal says the rush will be off the hook. So therefore, he can't be the Tana of Mishnah. Says the Gemara, no, he could be the Tana of Mishnah. You know why? Because he doesn't have the option of bringing Kishu in. Why? Because Chadal is one Nazir to the end of its life, not every 30 days. Who holds that? Rabbi. And Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi. Since Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi, so therefore he could be the Tana of Mishnah because Avada is Vada and Nazir and he can't get off the hook. We're doing good. I'm doing good. Okay. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara Vaita. Now let's disprove it. How can you say Fred the Gemara Rabbi Yehuda misabala Rabbi? Does Rabbi Yehuda hold like Rabbi? But nan Hari Nazir Kamiyan Masachama. And we said that what? Rabbi says you're a Nazir what? Once every 65 days. Rabbi Yehuda, Maisa, there was an incident. Haya. The Kivin Shehishlim, once he completed that 365 30 years of Naziris Mace, Naziris that is Makabal Naziris every 30 days for 365 times. I knew Taima, that's the reason. The Kivin the Hishlim Mace, Amit. One Naziris of 365 days. Mi have hashlama klau. Could you go ahead and place the word hashlama? Hashlama is involved mashman. It was an ongoing thing, not once. One Naziris is one Naziris. By hashlama, v'oid. Another proof that he can't like Rabbi is the word of minyan. Misavala kerebi v'tanya. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion. Hareini Nazir minyan. I'm a Nazir like the amount of. I'm the Nazir of a minyan of Hilkitei Kayetz. They had piles of dried figs in the right. The number of dried figs, uminyan shvile shmita, and the amount of ways of paths in the sada of shmita. Moida naziris. You're going to count naziris. Keminyan Hilkitei Kayetz keminyan shvile shmita. The amount, whatever the amount is, that's where you're going to go ahead and count. That's the amount you're going to go ahead and count. So Rabbi Yehuda must hold that what? That you what? Rabbi Yehuda says that you're going to count 30 days, right? The communion of Shvilas Others, you're going to count in the zeros of 30 days of each one. So, in other words, it's not that you're going to count, you have 15, 16 piles, you're going to count, you have 16 piles, you're going to do the zeros 16 times. Good? Like Rabbi, it should be 16, it'd have to be 30, right? Because it's less than 30. Again, like Rabbi, once you don't, the only way to say, to come on to many Naziris, say, Hare Olai Naziris. You didn't say that. We're saying you're the Nazir according to the amount of paths in the field. Good? So let's say there are 40 paths in the field. Like Rebbe, I'll be a Nazir for 40 days. Like Rebbe Yehuda, every 40, I'll have to count Naziris 40 times. So how can you say Rebbe Yehuda holds like Rebbe? So it must be Rebbe Yehuda does not hold like Rebbe, and it must be therefore that Rebbe Yehuda cannot be the Tana of the Mishnah because he had a way out because the Kishuin could be bought in the amount of Chardal. You would have been yoitz of that. You would have left one suffix, and everything would be good. That's a good cheshbon. That's a good cheshbon. Okay, so we proved using two ways that what Rebbe Yehuda couldn't be like. First of all, the lashon of the Mishnah, and second of all, the lashon of minyan. Right, the lashon of minyan. Now, the minyan, the Mishnah. They bought the Maisa of the Yemin Yimosachama. So Minyan now, it apparently that Minyan would be, Rebbe would hold, it doesn't make a difference. Rabbi Yehuda holds it does make a difference. So it says, Gemara, Minyan shiny. You're right. Minyan does make a difference. If you say Minyan Yimosachama, guys, what does it mean? 30 each and every day. What happens if you don't say minyan? Then Rebbe Yehuda could hold like Rebbe, and therefore we say mole, a box mole. We have to take him down to Kishum and Chardol, and he could be the Tana of Mishnah, and he could be Machmir. The two proofs that you're bringing that he holds like Rebbe is Keminyan Mosachama or Keminyan of the amount of fields in Shemitah. Minyan Einachinami. Minyan Rebbe Yehuda does not hold like Rebbe. Rebbe doesn't make a chilik between minyan or regular. Rebbe Yehuda does make that chilik. But Rebbe Yehuda could hold like Rebbe. Since he could hold like Rebbe, he can't be the Tana of the Mishnah because Chardal would be one long Naziris to the end of his life. He would not have the option of Kishuin, and therefore you'd have the two Sveikas, and therefore it made sense to me. Okay, I'm going to give you a recap in a second. Let's get to the next point. Says the Gemara minyan shiny. Says me shiny leila Rebbe minyan. Does Rebbe make? There's a chilik between Rebbe and Rebbe Yehuda regarding minyan vatanya. Hareini nazir keminyan mosachama. Moini nazir is keminyan mosachama. Kemei alvana. Moini kemei alvana. Rebbe yoyma atshiyam nazir is alai keminyan mosachama u keminyan mosahalavana. So Rebbe Yehuda is in disagreement with Rebbe. So Rabbi Yehuda Sabla Kavasi Bechada Palega Bechada. Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rebbe in one din, he argues in the other din. He holds like him regarding the Naziris of a box, that it's going to be one long Naziris. Upaleg Bechola, that feel Rabbi Yehuda Shani Le Many, Rebbe Le Shana Le Moina. In other words, when it comes to minyan, Rabbi Yehuda makes a chilik. When it comes to minyan, guys, Rabbi Yehuda makes a chilik and says you're going to be Moina Naziris every 30 days. Rebbe says no difference. Okay, so let's go over and let's put this all together. Okay. Our Mishnah started. We said a case of box. You have a box. It's more, and I'm going to say we're going to view. I make a Naziris like this box. What's full in this box? I can view this box one of two ways. I can view the box as full of mustard seeds, and then, according to Rabbi Yehuda, I'll be a Nazir every single 30 days for the rest of my life. Right? The Mishnah says the Tanakhama says I'll be a Nazir for the rest of my life. Or I can view it like Kishuin, and I'll be a Nazir only for the amount of days in the Kishuin. Whatever is there, not every 30 days, whatever that is, because it's a Dava Sheyesh Lo Kitzva, like we said yesterday. Good. The Mishnah opted to say what? We're going to view it as Chadal. So obviously, we're going to learn in our Mishnah that we're Machmir. Who's Machmir by Naziris? Reb Shimon. Who's Mekel by Naziris? Reb Yehuda. How do you see Reb Shimon is Machmir? Because he says, I'm a Nazir, there's 100 kur in that pile, right? And you find the pile empty, you're going to be a Nazir. Says Reb Yehuda, you won't be a Nazir because he's Mekel. He's Mekel. So Rabbi Yehuda, who is Mekel, can't be the Tan of a Mishnah. Says Rabbi Yochanan, no, Rabbi Yehuda could be the Tan of a Mishnah. There's a difference whether it's a suffix, whether it's a Nazir at all, or a difference whether he is a suffix, and the question is, how long is he a Nazir for? When there's a question, how long is he a Nazir for, then he'll be Machmir. Says Rabbi Yochanan, why do you have to, says the Gemara on Rabbi Yochanan, I'll prove to you he can't be the Tan of the Mishnah, because the Tan of the Mishnah is speaking about Kishun Mechadal, I can get him off the hook. Why? Whatever the amount of time Kishun is, bring one carbon. That'll take care of the Kishun part and take care of the first part of the Chadal part. And then what? You only have the suffix of Chadal. What does Rabbi Yehuda hold? Suffix Naziris is lahakal. You would be off the hook. And our Mishnah says you're on the hook. So obviously Rabbi Yehuda can't be the Tan of our Mishnah. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan, no. That Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi, and he doesn't have the option of bringing the carbon for Kishuin. You know why? Because when you're a Chadal, you're Nazir not every 30 days, you're a Nazir for the rest of your life. Good? You're Nazir for the rest of your life. Fred Gemara, how can you say Rabbi Yehuda holds like Rabbi? I'll prove to you he doesn't hold like Rabbi. Right? Our Mishnah says, it's every 30 days. Rabbi says, no, it's just 365 days, and Rabbi Yehuda argues. And for the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda agrees with him in one and disagrees with him in the other. He agrees with him if you say Mali Chardal, that you can't go ahead and take off the Naziris, because Mali Chardal, you're a Nazir for the rest of your life. If you say Kiminyan, then once it's the word in Kiminyan, it's going to be what? Every 30 days. Rabbi does not make a distinction between the two. He says it's just one long thing, and he says, no, that is the Minyan, and that was the Gemara. How we doing? Pretty good? Yehuda, you with me? Yeah, you good? Great. Sorry, guys. Do the best I can. It's challenging. It's challenging. Okay, let's finish up. The rest is easy. The rest of the parak is easy. Okay. Says Tan Rabbanim, Hareini Nazir Kol Yimei Chayai, or he says Hareini Nazir Oilam. Hareini Nazir Oilam. He'll be what? He'll be a Nazir Oilam. In that case, he'll be what? He'll be a Nazir. That he's able to, in other words, that is an Avshalom Naziris, guys. He'll be able to go ahead like Avshalom and once a year take a haircut. Afilu me'ashana, afilu elef shanim. If he says not kol yemei chayai, he says for 100 years he makes it a davar sheish l'kitzva. Ein zeh nazir oilam ela nazir le'oilam. Then he won't be a nazir like Avshalom. Then he's going to be a nazir for the rest of his life, because here is a davar sheish l'kitzva. And then this is Rebbe's guys of one long Naziris. That we know that distinction. Han Rabbanan. Harini Nazir the Achas. He says, I'm a Nazir and one, Moina Shtayim. He says, V'oid. He says, I need Nazir Achas V'oid, Moina Sholosh. V'shuv. He says, V'shuv, Moina Arba, 4 Naziris. Pshita, what's the Chiddush? Samadu Tema, V'shuv Kikulai. That Shuv is going back on Achas and Od, and now and now Shuv, so maybe 6, guys. In other words, you're going to do not 4 times, but you're going to do the previous 3. The previous 2 plus, that it's going back on the other ones, and it'll be a total of 6. Shish, Kamash Malon, it's a separate one by itself, and it's only 4. Tanar Rabbanon, Hareini Nazir. He says in Nazir, and now he adds the word Sumchas Laimer if he says Hain. Because Hareini Nazir Hain, so therefore that's Achas, 1 Naziris. If he says Hareini Nazir Digun, then it's Shtayim, 2. If he says, because in Greek, Digun is 2. If he says Harei Olai Nazir Trigun, then it's Sholosh, it's 3. If he says Harei Nazir Tetragon, like a tetragon, then it's 4. And Pentagon or Pentagon, then Chamesh, we can figure it out, right? That without the thing getting bombed, we can figure out that it's the Pentagon. Okay, so this makes sense. And now we're going to apply the same halacha to a base menuga. A base menuga has to have walls. So therefore, if it's 1, it can't be. If it's 2, it can't be. If it's 3, it can't be. 4, it could be. 5, it can't be. Says the Gemara. Hanabanan bias ugl. If it's it doesn't have any walls, it doesn't have any corners. Digun, or if it has only 2 walls, two like this, guys. It's like this, like diumdim. Or trigun, it has 3. Or pointagon, or it has 5. Eina mitam v'negoyim. But if it has tetragon, it has 4 corners, then Matama ben Goyim. My timer, only 4 corners. Lamata in Pashas Negoyim, it says, Huaymer, Vine Pasha Nega Bekirois Abayis. It says the Nega will be Pasha in the walls of the house. And we dash in the following. Kier, when it could have said Kier, and it says Kirois, it could have said Kier, but it says Kirois. And therefore, that's where it says above and below. Lamaila, at the beginning of the parsha, it says, Hine hanega bekirais abayis. So we darshan vikir kirais. So therefore, just like kir kirais, at the beginning of the parsha, it could have written kir, but it writes kirais. It's mashma that it has to have 2 times. Harikan arba, when it says the second time kirais, it's an additional 2. So you need kirais that it starts off as 2, and kirais that it's spread to 2. You need a total of 4. Hajan alecha kol kinuye, hajan alecha kol kinuye, hajan alecha kol kinuye.
Yes, and, no, 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 no,
No, no.